opened your case to prove that you are the biological father of the defendant's 2-month-old son, Javier. You claim she is denying paternity only because she wants to be with another man and needs him to be the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Saavedra, you admit you allowed 2 men into your bed at the same time, but you are convinced that Mr. Pitchford Kendricks is not Javier's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Pitchford Kendricks, you say proving paternity is extremely important to you.
Yes,
is that
Your Honor.
correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Ms. Saavedra, you say, unfortunately, Mr. Kendricks, you don't believe he's the biological father?
No, Your Honor, I do not. It started like this. Me and Greg met each other through, he was dating a roommate of mine. And he came over one day. We did end up hitting it off, and we was cool. Ended up having sex.
Okay, that's Three's Company, right? Y'all too young to know that show.
Speaking of Three's Company, when me and the man that I believe is Javier's father, Maurice, was getting rocky, we decided to include Greg in our mix and try and spice things up.
Oh, so how often was that happening?
It happened.
Off and on for like 10 years.
What?
It
wasn't 10 years.
It happened like this, Your Honor. I've been knowing her 10 years. After I got her and we became friends, you know, I was still kind of talking to her friend. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, you still with the friend?
Yeah.
Right.
After that, you know, I hooked her up. She asked me, did I know anybody else, you know what I'm saying, that she could hook up with.
So who did you hook her up with?
Well, a half cousin of mine.
A half cousin?
Yeah, he my cousin's cousin. So I hooked them up.
So wait a minute. You were dating a woman, you ended up sleeping with her roommate. Then you developed a friendship with that roommate, and then she asked you to introduce her to somebody, so you introduced her to your cousin.
Yes, ma'am.
But then,
Yes, Your Honor.
her and your cousin invited you into their bed to have a threesome when their relationship needed spicing up.
Yeah, like that, but she used to call me and confide in me to, like, after I hooked them up as friends and stuff, and they got it on, you know, when they have their little disputes or whatever, he be cheating and all that, she called me crying and stuff, and, you know, I had to go over there and kind of help her cheer up and stuff, you know.
So you're saying you did the threesomes, but then you also would go over and sleep with her by yourself?
While he was at work, or, you know, while he was cheating.
Your Honor, that happened one time.
So you find out you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do then?
I contacted Maurice and told him I was pregnant.
Okay, so you contact the guy that really was your boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when you told him you were pregnant, did he say, it's not my baby, it's Mr. Kendricks?
He didn't say anything to the degree at the time. We talked about it later on.
Afterwards, he called me trying to act like, man, these your babies over here, dog. I'm telling you, when I see you, dog, it's on, man. You got me over here taking care of your babies, cause between both of the babies, like before her first baby was born, that's when the threesome started.
Oh, so you have an older child with the cousin.
Yes.
But it was during the time of the threesomes and the times when
With both kids, we're both children.
both kids, you were
we was
having
three-
sex with Miss Saavedra either within the threesome or alone.
Yeah.
That's
yes,
not
Your
true.
Honor, and I see.
Not with the first one, no. It was
Yes, it
months
was,
prior.
Your Honor.
Months prior. It was not around that same time.
So now there's a question about Javier's paternity
Yes, Your Honor.
because of this night and the other threesome episodes.
Yes.
And Mr. Kendricks believes he is Javier's biological father. He brought a basket. He is ready.
I know he's not the father.
You do?
I do.
And how do you know that, Miss Saavedra?
Because me and Gregory wasn't messing around in May. I conceived in May.
It was April.
Right, and I conceived in May.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Pitchford Kendricks, you are not the father. I can see that really disappointed you. You thought you were.
Yeah, Your Honor. You know, I tried to step up to the plate, you know, because I ain't have a father.
You sitting over here with this beautiful basket, and it seems like...
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to her anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was lovely. It's a weird thing. I kind of like it, but I don't, because you all really do have a good rapport with one another. Like, you all probably could have had a nice relationship, but I feel like this mutual admiration can be dangerous, and it can land you back here if you don't know what to do with it. Because you all have that chemistry thing. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. Mr. Adel, you are here today to prove Ms. Jones committed paternity fraud. You claim Ms. Jones duped you into signing her daughter's birth certificate only to find out after her child was born that she cheated prior to getting pregnant. You say she broke the terms of your relationship. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jones, you admit to cheating, but say you are 100% positive Mr. Adel is the biological father of your 2-month-old daughter, Jessela.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Adel, what do you mean she broke the terms of the relationship?
Your Honor, we have certain rules. We're swingers, you know, and
Okay.
and she went outside of the relationship. She cheated on me, and now she's trying to pin the baby on me.
So wait, you have swinger rules.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the rules? What are the terms?
The rules are you don't go outside of the relationship and have sexual relations with anyone outside of the relationship unless the other one is present.
Okay.
So,
Is there an agreement that you always use protection?
Yes, ma'am. Every single time you use protection, you gotta protect yourself. You don't know what's out there, you know?
Right.
She went against...
that's a lie. I used a condom.
You broke the rules because you had sex with someone outside of the relationship, but you say you did use protection.
Yes.
So just one rule broken.
Yes. He cheated too, though. I did it out of spite.
You did it out of spite. You
Yeah.
feel like he cheated.
Your Honor, she swears to God I cheated, and I don't cheat.
Oh, there was a picture in my bed with someone else.
A picture of Mr. Adel in the bed with somebody else, your bed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's why you cheated, because you saw that picture, so then you went out and did it.
Absolutely.
Now we know 2 wrongs never make a right. It just makes drama. Did she know you were a swinger, or who was the swinger?
No,
How did this start?
I was the swinger. I had previous experience. I had relations with a few couples previous to our relationship after we made it official. I had talked her into it. Took a lot of convincing.
At first, I thought he was crazy. Why would you want to sleep with somebody else other than your loved one?
Because
That's
it's
what
exciting.
I'm thinking.
It's exciting.
But I gave it a chance because I loved him.
So the first time you all have this threesome, what happens? I mean, I know what happens, I guess, but I really don't. But I don't know if I want to know. Who finds the people? How does that start?
Well, the way we did it was we put an ad out online.
An ad online?
Yes.
What would an ad like this say?
It couples.
Go ahead, you know what it says. You know you wrote it.
It would say.
He's trying to act like now he don't know quite how to phrase it. You know what they say. What does it say?
The title would say couple looking to spice things up. Or couple looking for a woman or a couple looking for a man.
Okay, so were you all looking for a man or a woman?
At that point, we were looking for a man.
Oh, a man.
Yes.
Oh, so, okay. The man answers the ad, and do you vet them at all? I mean, you just say they answered the ad and now you can come over? How does that work?
By talking to someone through text message or email, I can tell whether they're intelligent or they're bird brain. You know, so
so for something like this, do you want someone intelligent or bird brain? I don't know which one works
I would
better.
like someone to be intelligent, yes.
Oh, you want them to be smart?
Yes.
Just someone interested in having a good time as well. So at what point did he even find out she cheated? What point did you find this out, Mr. Adel? How did you find it out?
I found out when we had an argument. You know, she had confessed to me that she cheated. I was gone for a night. She had confessed to me the next day, and this happened just about last month. You know, and you know, so it was all the way through the pregnancy, and you know, and now she finally tells me.
But this was like a month ago?
Yeah, this was a month ago that all this occurred, that she had told me that she had cheated.
So Jessela was already 1 month old then?
Exactly.
So you went through this entire process without any clue that she had had sex with somebody else. You thought you had a beautiful baby, you formed a bond with the baby, everything was great until just 1 month ago you realized that this baby, 2 months old, may not be your biological child.
Yes, ma'am.
And how has that affected you all at this point?
We get along, but I distance myself. I don't want to build any more of a relationship if I'm not the father.
When it comes to 2-month-old Jessela Adel, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Adel, you are the father.
I told you.
It feels great.
Makes you emotional.
Yes, it does. Very emotional.
And why is that?
Because I built a relationship with a child, and I'd like to continue.
That's great.
Thank you.
Let me say this to you. Karma is very interesting. And I find it to be so on point that you would have a baby girl.
A lot of my friends have baby girls, and we always tell each other, you know, this is God paying us back for
Yes.
what we've
Yes,
done.
it is. And it is also not just paying you back, but giving you an opportunity to move forward in your life. The only swinging you need to be doing is at the park with your baby. Ms. Strong, you've summoned the defendant, Ms. McClain, to court to prove that your husband did not father her 14-month-old daughter, Angel. You say 1 month ago, Ms. McClain calls you out of the blue and claimed Mr. Strong was her child's father and demanded he take care of her. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McClain, you say your daughter is the product of a night of passion gone wrong, and you are certain Mr. Strong is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Strong, how did you and your husband land in court with a paternity dispute?
Your Honor, a little over a year ago, me and Ms. McClain got together. We were friends, wanted to do something for our birthdays. We had discussed doing a threesome, which it was something my husband had always wanted to do, and I figured if I did it with him, then
You and Ms.
he'd get out his
McClain
system.
got together to talk about this?
Yes, Your Honor.
For your birthdays?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So we went back to our apartment and discussed it with Mr. Strong, and he was resistant at first, but it happened. We had some drinks, the music was playing. We had a threesome, had a good time that night. We discussed everything beforehand of what, possibilities could be.
What possibilities?
If she did get pregnant, of which we were under the understanding there was a medical reason she couldn't.
So before you all had this threesome, you set parameters.
Yes, Your Honor.
What were the rules?
It would always be the three of us, never separately. If a baby came out of it, we'd raise it together, the three of us.
You all were this thorough?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you get it in writing?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Strong, you were nervous at first.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why were you nervous?
Because prior to our first couple months of our relationship, I made a lot of bad decisions. And when she approached me with this conversation, I thought it was another setup.
Oh, you thought it was a setup? So you reluctantly agree.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what?
I heard rumors about her being pregnant, but I was told it was an ex-boyfriend.
So wait, I want to understand, after this night, you just had this one night, or was it more than one night?
It was more than one night.
More than one night. So you had more than one threesome.
Yes, ma'am.
How many more threesomes did you have?
We've had a total of 8 of them. We've had 8 of them since before my daughter's birth and after it.
Total.
2.5 to 3 weeks after we had our very first threesome, I found out I was pregnant.
And you said you had 8 of them.
Correct.
So you were still having threesomes with them through your pregnancy?
And after.
You opened this case because you said you don't believe.
There's a 50-50 chance because I see a lot of features that could be mine, and then I also see a lot of features that aren't mine. See, I'm part Hispanic, so I mean, there's not many redhead people in my family. I mean, I do have a little bit of Irish in me, but I mean, I'm just trying to be certain because I grew up without a father. So I mean, if I am a father, I do want to be there for her.
And so you do believe that there is a possibility, but you are not 100% certain.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I
you
just
are,
want the reassurance that I am.
and because you grew up without a dad, you don't want to continue that cycle.
No, ma'am.
And so you have opened up your home and your hearts to this little girl.
Yes, ma'am.
And you as well, Miss Strong.
Absolutely.
And it's because you knew openly that you were going into this threesome situation, and you all obviously weren't being responsible and using any type of extra birth control. Well, because Ms. McClain thought she couldn't get pregnant again.
She said she had an accident, which we knew about the accident, that she couldn't have children from. That's what we looked at. Otherwise, we would have used other protection.
And so once Angel got here, you said this innocent little baby deserves nothing less than our love and our support, and we welcome her into our family.
Yes, Your Honor. My kids welcomed her with open arms, not even knowing. They treat her like that's their sister, no matter what.
And it seems like you have less doubt than your husband.
I look at the conception date. She's been telling me for, a year that she's not. But I went back to the time of conception, and she didn't leave my bed that night, so.
She didn't leave your bed?
No.
And she told us for a year that he wasn't the father, and that's the only reason we're here today. There would have been no question if she would have just came to us.
This is something else. When it comes to 14-month-old Angel McClain, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Strong, you are not the father. I'm sorry to have to deliver that news, Mr. and Ms. Strong. It seemed like you were very happy at the thought of having Angel as your little girl. But unfortunately, you are not her biological father. Ms. McClain, I asked you, would there be any surprises?
No. I know, but I didn't even know the fact that the gentleman did a DNA test with my daughter.
Oh, so he did the testing on his own and just delivered the news to you that it was negative and he was not the biological father?
Correct.
And you just trusted that? Okay, it sounds like you need to go get a hold of him again. Whoever you were with, she deserves to know.
I know she does.
And we got your back. We're going to be there. We're going to be
tear me
friends.
apart? Do you really think it doesn't?
I know it does.
Do you think I want my daughter not to know who her father is?
No, I don't believe that at all. That's why we're here.
No, but I didn't want to get attached to a kid that's not even mine.
Ms. McClain, we're here for you as well. This is about Angel. We will administer the testing. We will help you find out who Angel's biological father is. She deserves to know, and I can see, as you talked about, taking her back and forth to those doctor's appointments and her having medical issues, you deserve to have the full medical history for your child to be able to give the doctors so that they understand fully how to help her, how to treat her, and how to heal her.